Welcome, welcome, welcome to today's new moon autumn equinox cacao ceremony. You may be joining me at exactly the time of the autumn equinox, but you can equally enjoy this cacao ceremony at any time if you're tuning into it as a recording. Now, my name is Sorrel. I am also known as Plant Spirit Medicine Woman. I'm a medical herbalist, I'm a healer. I work in a shamanic way with my healing practice. And I'm also a cacaoista. And so it's my role today to guide you on a cacao ceremony. And so I've set the space up for us today in a new way. For those of you who have joined me before, you might notice I've got a little plant here, and this is a Mama Cacao plant. And Mama Cacao is joining us today for our ceremony. And she's just a little baby at the moment, but I'm hoping she'll go big and strong. And one day I'll need to buy a big conservatory for her, and she'll be flowering and growing fruit for me as well. So she'll be joining us in ceremony. I've got 4 stones on the altar to represent the 4 directions, and a little clay model that I've made of Mama Cacao as well, where I place offerings. Today I've gifted Mama Cacao the offering of sacred tobacco, and that's also to help us with our sight. Tobacco, when we use it in a sacred way, helps us to see. It heals many, many things, but it also helps us to see with clarity what we need to see. And today's journey is a journey into the lower realm, and the lower realm is also the representation of our inner landscape, our subconscious, or our mega conscious, as I prefer to call it. And as we are journeying into that lower realm, I'm also going to invite you to call upon the spirit of Mama Bear. Mama Bear sits on the medicine wheel in the west direction, which also aligns us with the time of the autumn equinox and this time of going within. And as we are in this time of going within, we are looking for things that we can let go of, things that we can shed. Like as the leaves fall at this time of year, what can we shed? What can we let fall away from us that's no longer serving us in our lives? And at the same time, what can we sow seeds for manifestation for the year that's coming? Those seeds will go into the earth, and they will also begin to grow their roots so that when spring does come, they already have a strong connection to our lower realm and are deeply rooted so that we can grow faster and our branches can reach the light with more grace, more ease. So this is a perfect time for us to go into the lower realm using the shamanic journey process, using Mama Cacao as our assistant as well, and to assist the process of journeying. And we're working with the gongs today, also to help us to awaken our third eye and open our consciousness up to receive the messages that Spirit has to share with us. So I'm going to invite you to smudge your energy field. Then we will call in the 7 directions, which will create a protective circle or sphere around us so that we're in a safe, sacred space, so that only the good guys can come and join us in our ceremony. And that will help to protect us and align us with the highest vibration. And as we call in those 7 directions as well, we are creating a receptacle for receiving the messages and any alignments that we wish to connect with. So maybe we're trying to manifest something in our lives and we're calling on Spirit to help us to manifest. By working in sacred ceremonies like this, sometimes we get messages about how to align with those dreams, those desires even better. And today we might even get a new dream come through from our heart as we go and meet with Mama Bear. Mama Bear has some very interesting stories surrounding her from different parts of the globe, but actually I'll run through those ideas and talk a little bit more about that process when you're drinking your cacao. So I have a cup here that I've already had my cacao in. I'm having a smaller cup today of cacao. So I do drink cacao most days, and I work with it as a ceremony. Every single morning I have my own little sacred ceremony with Mama Cacao, and I've been doing that for about 5 years. And it's absolutely transformed my life. If you do work with it every day, it's a good idea to just have maybe 20, 25 grams rather than going up to the higher ceremonial doses, which we often work with, which is more like somewhere between 28 and 42 grams is a good amount to work with. So with our cup of cacao, I want us to offer this to the 7 directions as we're moving around the 7 directions and inviting them to take our cacao as well, so they can receive the offering as well as us receiving the offering that Mama Cacao brings to us. So let's begin by smudging ourselves. And because not all of you will have the a smoke and a feather handy or other forms of smudging, we're going to use an energy smudge. So I want you to join me, unless you want to work in this moment yourself with another form of smudging. Join me now by smudging your energy body, by bringing your hands in front of your heart, kind of in prayer position, but also leaving a little bit of a gap so that we can gather the energy into our hands. And then we're calling on the energy of our heart. We're calling our heart chakra to open and awaken so that it begins to pour love and light into that heart, into those hands in front of our heart space. So imagining that our hands are filling up with love and light that we're carrying and gathering from our heart. Maybe you want to see it as a color, and then take it up over the top of the head. And we open up our arms to the universe, and we invite the universe to shower us with love and light. And our arms represent a kind of goblet now that we're receiving this love and light into. And now we're going to wash the outside of our energy field. So our energy field is a bubble of energy all around us. So now I want you to imagine that you're washing down that energy field, which is about an arm's length around you, all the way down, the back, the front, the sides, all the way down. And then if you want to, you can reach the earth. Now, if you have any problems with mobility and you can't reach the earth, then just shake your hands to release any of that energy that's stuck out of the meridians. And you can also stamp your feet to shake it out of the feet. And then we're going to come back to our heart. And the next layer we're going to do is between the outer layer of our bubble and the skin of our body. And this represents the emotional layer. So anything which has triggered us recently, made us a little bit emotional in a way that is uncomfortable for us, we can wash that clean and bring a little bit more peace into that space. So bringing your hands in front of your heart, let's pour love and light from our heart into our hands. And let's scoop that up over the top of our head and open up to the heavens and invite the universe to shower us with love and light, feeling our goblet filling up with love and light, that infinite love and light. And then let's bring it down through our bubble, all the way through that emotional layer, cleansing any energies. Really letting go of any sticky energy which feels uncomfortable at all to you. And again, bringing it down to the ground, giving it to the earth, thanking Mother Earth for taking it off you, shaking your hands, stamping your feet a little bit if that helps you as well, just to really feel that you're giving all of that heavy energy to the ground. Mama Earth is a powerful sorceress. She can turn carbon deposits into diamonds. So think about Mother Earth taking that heavy energy off you and turning it into a beautiful gemstone again, so that it's actually something that can nourish you. You've learnt the lesson from those sticky emotions and you're ready to let them go, just like the leaves fall from a tree. Now we're going to do the last layer, which is our physical body. So let's take our hands to our heart. Let's allow our heart to open up and pour love and light into that hand. And then bringing that up over the top of the head, opening up to the universe. Universe, shower us with love and light. Calling that in, allowing it to shower you, filling up your goblet. And now bringing it down through the bubble, through the layers of the body. Imagine it cleansing every cell of your body, all the way down. I read recently that we have 100 trillion cells in our body. So let's wash every single one of them clean now. Taking that energy all the way through, touching the ground, shaking your hands, stamping your feet a little bit. I like to work in bare feet when I do this as well, so that we can really earth ourselves and connect to the spirit of the earth beneath us. In an ideal world, we would always be doing our ceremonies outside, because then we're truly connected to the earth and to nature. But in this northern hemisphere where it's getting a little bit colder, a little bit chillier, it's a lot easier to stay warm, stay relaxed, and enjoy the process when we're actually tucked up in a nice space like this. So now we've cleansed our energy field and our physical body. I want us to call in the directions to create sacred space. And then, as long as you've got your cacao ready, then you can drink your cacao. Now, please remember this is a video. Even if you're watching this as the live premiere, then you can still pause this video if you haven't got your cacao ready, nip off and brew up some cacao, and then come back and you can join us in circle for this next stage. So let's turn to the east. Hopefully you know where the east direction is. It's where the sun rises. So if you know where it is, you can turn to the east. But I don't feel that spirit will mind too much if you get the directions a little bit out of sync. So turn to the direction that you feel represents the east for you. Now I'm going to turn my back to you slightly because the east is behind us over here where the sun rises. And I'm going to call in, this is working with the Mayan circle, with the elements aligned with that circle, but also I'm going to be calling in Mama Bear, which they tend not to call in the Mayan tradition. They tend to call Mama Jaguar in the West, but I'm going to swap the animals around a little bit today so that they represent more the types of energy that we are calling in, the spirit guides that we're calling in. But equally, if you have particular power animals or spirit guides that you're working with, then please feel free to call in whoever you wish to join you in your personal ceremony today. So let's go back to facing the east. Beloved spirits of the east, we welcome you. We welcome the rising sun. We welcome the dawn. We welcome the spirit of fire. And we invite in the spirit of eagle today. And as we welcome you, eagle, we ask you to help us to gather our prayers and carry them up to heaven, so that our prayers can be answered today. Today we are all journeying together into the lower realm to meet with the spirit of Mama Bear. Please help us to see what we need to see, and please help us to manifest whatever is possible for us today to bring down our prayers into reality. Oh. And now we're going to turn to the spirits of the south. Beloved spirits of the south, we welcome you, and we welcome the water and the flow of life. We welcome the day and the warmth of the noon sun. And here we can welcome in the spirit of dolphin today. Spirit of dolphin, please join us today with your healing energy, with your love, with your laughter, with the joy that you bring. Teach us how to be more like you, how to swim through the waters with your cleansing vibrations. Help us to be clean, help us to be healed, help us to be happy and free. Aho. And now we call in our beloved spirits of the west. Beloved spirits of the west, we welcome you. We welcome the dusk and the setting sun. And we celebrate this harvest that we've already manifested this year. And we celebrate the people that we've already become. And we call in the earth energies, and we call in Mama Bear. Mama Bear, you are such a wise and powerful teacher. We invite you here to our ceremony today because we want to journey specifically to meet with you today. Please help us to see what we need to see. Please help us to release that which no longer serves us. And please help us to tune in to our heart's desires so we know our purpose, so that we can tune in to what seeds we need to sow for the next year so that we can blossom and flourish. Oh. And now we tune in to our beloved spirits of the north. Beloved spirits of the north, we welcome you. We welcome the night and the bright moon shining. We welcome the air and clarity of thought. We welcome the ancestors, those who have passed away before us, and those yet to be born yet. We welcome you all to our ceremony. We also wish to welcome in the spirit of Wolf. Wolf guides us around the medicine wheel and home again. Please protect us on our journey today. Oh. And now I like to tune in to the earth beneath our feet. So we're tuning into Mama Earth beneath us. My feet are touching the ground, so that feels really connected enough for me today. Sometimes I like to get down on the floor as well and touch the earth with my hands. Ah, Mama Earth, we welcome you and we offer you this cacao even though you gave it to us first. We offer you this cacao for our ceremony today as we wish to connect to the spirit of Mama Bear, our relation. And we also wish to welcome in all our relations We wish to welcome in all of the animals, those who live on the land, the ones that fly through the skies, and the ones that swim through the waters. We welcome them all. We welcome the mushrooms. We welcome the stone people. We welcome the plant people, especially Mama Cacao today. We welcome you. And we also welcome the bacteria and the viruses and all of the beings that make up this ecosystem, some of which science hasn't even named yet. We welcome you all. This is a good time also for us all to apologize to Mama Earth for all the destructive tendencies that the humans have had over the years. So let's say sorry to Mama Earth for all the conscious and unconscious ways that we are acting destructively to our relations unto her, and ask that she help guide us to become harmonious beings on this planet, to step into our power as the gardeners of the earth, as the earth keepers we were born to be. Aho. And now we tune into Father Sky above us. So you might like to reach up and put your hand up into the heavens above you. But sky is all around us. We're breathing it constantly, breathing in and breathing out that energy of Father Sky. So we want to thank Father Sky. We want to thank him for wrapping his loving arms of protection around Mother Earth and all her children, for the breath of life, the winds of change, the blue skies, and the grey. And we welcome in our cosmic relations now too. So I'm going to spin round on my little whizzy chair to call in those directions. We're calling in Grandmother Moon, particularly the new moon of this particular ceremony. And we're calling in Grandfather Sun, and we're calling in the star nations. All of our cosmic relations, we welcome you today into this ceremonial space. Please guide us on this journey so that we can let go of that which no longer serves us and manifest new dreams, new seeds to sow for the year ahead. And we also wish to welcome in the seventh direction, which is Great Spirit. To do this, I like to lay my hand upon my heart, because this is us, this is our energy, this is a creation spirit. The Mayans do not believe that there is a specific God in the way that other religions believe in a God. They believe in creation energy and concepts. So let's call in our connection to each other and also our connection to all that is, the spirit of energy, the spirit of all that exists in our reality. Calling in that creative force. Oh. So now we've tuned in to all our directions. Please enjoy your cacao now. And as you're enjoying your cacao, I'm going to talk you through the process that we're going to go through for this journey. And then we'll get to enjoy a delicious gong bath meditation together. So the first thing we're going to do is, once you've finished your cacao, is make yourselves really, really comfortable. So to make yourselves comfortable, you might want to get some squishy cushions. You might have a couch or a bed that you're lying down on. And you might also want to have a rug, a blanket to keep you nice and warm. While you're doing that, getting yourself ready, just in case you get thirsty, have a glass of water handy. Also, if you would like to write notes at the end of the ceremony, perhaps you like to journal from your experiences, a little bit like keeping a dream diary. I like to keep a journey journal, and I write down all the details of my journeys that I have. And I've got journals going back 27 years now, right back to the first times that I started working in a shamanic way and experiencing shamanic journeys. And I still go back to them, and I still reflect upon them. Usually around this time of year, I have a big reflective process. And equally, actually, at the winter solstice, I like to have some reflective time where I start to review my life, going all the way back as far as I've got time to, and look at where I'm at and celebrating how far we've come, but also look at maybe what we need to let go of and what we need to manifest next too. So these journals can be very helpful in that process of reviewing our life and reflecting and seeing what's working and what isn't working for us. So for the journey itself, when you're laying down, you're all cozy, you've got everything you need. Oh, the other thing you might need is tissues, just in case you have a cry. Sometimes when we drink Mama Cacao, as she's helping to awaken our heart space, then she might shift heavy energies that are a little bit stuck there. And sometimes that's grief, sometimes that's tears. Now, at this particular time of recording, and I'm recording it from the UK, the Queen has just passed away. So she's now in the realm of the ancestors. Maybe she'll join us today in ceremony. I wouldn't be surprised if she shows up in your journeys. And as we're all also stepping into our power and remembering that we are all sovereign beings, there's a shift in our consciousness at the moment towards that. So I've lost the plot a bit. What was, because I've gone into Queen mode. Okay, so what I was thinking about also was as our hearts open, those sticky energies that are released, sometimes it can be tears, sometimes it can be grief. And there's been a big wave of grief flowing through, particularly the UK, but probably across the world as well. And the Queen passing has sort of opened the door to us being allowed to express that grief. So allow yourself to cry if tears come. Allow yourself to laugh. Quite often when I hold ceremonies with people in real life, we'll have one person crying in a corner, another person laughing in another corner, and it's all fine. All emotions are welcome. This is a completely safe space to be your emotional self and release those emotions. As we release those emotions, then we make more space for joy, for love, for healing to come in. So welcome the release, even if it's a bit sticky in the moment, okay? The other things you might notice from Mama Cacao, particularly if this is the first time you've ever worked with Cacao, is that she will rebalance your serotonin and your dopamine levels so you naturally feel happier and healthier. I believe that it's the best antidepressant there is on the planet. And so that's one reason why I work with her every day. She's my antidepressant. She's my anti-anxiety medicine. And she works for me beautifully. The other things that we notice from Mama Cacao as she starts to move into our system is an awakening of the consciousness of our mind. Now that works in a very physical way in that she literally does open up the pathways in the brain. And when we've done different experiments on the mind, what we've noticed with Mama Cacao is that she does connect up the neural pathways so we can have more of those aha moments, which happens a little bit in a similar way to if you took something like magic mushrooms or LSD, but in a much, much more subtle, much more grounded way. So when we drink her and we close our eyes and we visualize, then we are able to see in a more psychedelic way with our eyes shut, but magically when our eyes are open, everything's back to normal again, which is just the best way to take a psychedelic in my reality at the moment. Certainly, I need to be on the planet most of the time. I have young children, and I can't just go away and disappear off into the realms. And I need to be grounded to collect them from school, for example. So enjoy the psychedelic potential of Cacao, but know that you're 100% safe, and that when you come back into reality, then with your eyes open again, then everything's going to be completely back to normal. Just enjoy the dreamscape while you're there. Now, saying that, not everyone is really visual. Some people are more kinesthetic, so you may have sensations in the body, and some people are more auditory, so you might get messages that come through in a more verbal way into your mind. So however the messages come through, that's fine. It's also possible for you to completely fall asleep and just have a really, really deep rest. So trust that your subconscious knows what it's doing. Your subconscious will be absorbing the energy of the gongs and absorbing the meditation that I'm guiding you on as well. And so there's no need for you to actually do anything at all. Just relax and enjoy the process, however that evolves for you. So when I guide you on this journey, which I'll do with the soundscape of the gongs interweaving with my words, I will be guiding you to a place in nature. So I want you to imagine a place in nature that's actually in this reality. And then we're going to go into the lower realm. So there are 3 dimensions in the shamanic tradition. There's the lower realm, which represents our inner consciousness. And often we go there and we discover things which we've not been fully conscious of, parts of ourselves that might need integrating, parts of ourselves which might be a bit lost, parts of ourselves which might have experienced trauma in the past, which we've dissociated from. And so when we go into that lower realm, we can rediscover ourselves. There's also this middle layer of reality that we exist in every day, and the upper realms where we connect to our higher selves, higher consciousness, and more the angelic beings that exist up there. Our soul group will be up there to help us and guide us. But today we're going to go into the lower realm to work with Mama Bear. So Mama Bear will meet us when we get into that lower realm. So we go to a place in nature, which I'll guide you to visually. I'll ask you to imagine that you're leaving your body, going into the sky, journeying to a place in nature. I like to go from a place which is a woodland area, and I go through the roots of some trees, and I travel down and round and down and round. I want you to choose wherever you want to go. Some people like to go to a cave. That's a traditional Mayan way to journey, is to go to a cave and travel through that cave into the darkness, and you pop out into a lower realm. You might also find a door in a tree, do it a little bit more like a magical fairy world, going that way. We will use our imaginations and we will create a pathway to go down. When we land in that lower realm, then it will manifest for you. Most people see it as a unspoilt landscape. So it's much more natural landscape. And so I want you to explore that natural landscape with Mama Bear. And she might take you on a journey within that landscape as well. But the first thing we do is call on Mama Bear. Now, when we do this journey, Mama Bear might not be the only spirit guide that turns up, or she may not turn up at all. Someone else may turn up, and someone else may guide you. And that's all absolutely fine. Whoever comes through for you, just trust that they're the right one for you. And you can check, you can ask them, are you my spirit guide for the day? Now, there is a rule of 3 in shamanism where if you ask something 3 times for the truth, it will give you the truth on the 3rd answer. So if you're not entirely sure, you say, are you my spirit guide? And it says yes, you can ask it 2 more times. And on the 3rd answer, if it's still saying yes, then 100% you can trust it. If it's not the right spirit guide for you, you can invite it to take you to meet your spirit guide, or you can just call again for your spirit guide to come through and just wait. And when your spirit guide comes, then you might want to ask them. You might set up the intention the same way as I am today, which is to ask Mama Bear, what can I let go of and what shall I manifest next year? But equally, you may have your own story at the moment that you're working through. So if you're asking for healing or asking for wisdom in another way, all is good. Just ask Mama Bear whatever you want to ask, okay? And let her help you to understand yourself better through this process. At the end of this procedure, I will call you back to your bodies so that you're fully integrated again and grounded. And then at the end of this, we will close the ceremony. I'll close those 7 directions. So please stay on until we've closed the 7 directions. And then there will be a live Zoom call for anybody that signed up for the live event. If, however, you aren't part of the live event, but you still want to communicate and get in touch, then you're very, very welcome to do so. You can communicate with me by email or put a comment under this video and I can get back to you and we can have a conversation about how you're getting on and what you explored and what you experienced today. Okay, so I believe we are ready. You've been drinking your cacao for about 10 minutes, so that's definitely plenty of time. So I will begin. If you would like to make yourself really comfortable, I'm just going to get myself ready with my gongs. And we're going to begin to guide you. So get yourself settled into your space. You might prefer to sit up if you're someone that tends to fall asleep. But most people prefer to shamanically journey lying down. So let's begin by closing our eyes and taking some deep breaths. And as you begin to breathe deeper and deeper, bringing that life-giving oxygen into the lungs and into the body. And listening to the sound of the gongs as they start to wake up. Just keep breathing, nice long deep breaths, giving your body permission to rest and relax now. Let's invite every muscle of our body to rest. Let's scan our bodies from head to toe. Let's begin with the forehead, just softening all the muscles of the forehead. Relaxing the eyes and the muscles surrounding the eyes. Relax the cheeks and the jaw. shoulders. Relax the arms, the hands and the fingers. Relax the back and the spine and all the muscles down the sides of the spine. Relaxing the rib cage and the chest so that your rib cage can expand a little bit more every time you breathe in. And as you breathe out, you're releasing any tension that you've been holding on to in that area. Breathing in relaxation. Breathing out any stress. Moving that relaxation down through the whole of the torso, into the abdomen, the lower abdomen, the pelvis, down through the hips and the buttocks, down into the legs, all the way down through the lower legs into the feet and the toes. Now we have energy chakras in our hands and our feet. And I want you to allow them now, encourage them to open. You might want to encourage them to open by stretching out your fingers, stretching out your toes for a moment. And as they open, you're allowing any heavy, sticky energy that you've been holding on to release out through those chakras. Imagine it going straight into the earth beneath you, making space for new insights and the healing energy and the love of Mama Cacao to start to flow into that space that you're creating in your whole body. It's really good. Now Mama Cacao is starting to move through your physical body. She's starting to work through your stomach, relaxing the stomach and the digestive system. She's starting to move through into the lymphatic system as she's absorbed into the stream of blood and the lymph. And as that happens, she starts to move into all the organs of the body, moving into the heart, the lungs, the liver, the kidneys. All of these organs are linked to specific emotions as well. The lungs are linked to grief. The heart is linked to joy and sadness when there's a lack of love. The lungs also allow us to receive as much as let go. The liver is linking us up to our anger, our frustrations, or the very heavy energy of jealousy. Let's release all of those heavy emotions, making space for peace and more love to come in. Mama Cacao starts to move into all the muscles and the bones of the body. She's full of magnesium salts, and the magnesium helps to soften all the muscles of the physical body, easing away any tension that you might have held there. Feel her flowing through all the different muscles of the body from the top of the head down to the tips of the toes now. Mama Cacao also raises our oxytocin levels. Oxytocin is the chemistry of love. It's the chemical we feel when we're cuddling, or we're watching a beautiful sunset, or we're stroking a fluffy kitten, or our dog, whether you're a cat or a dog person. Now let's begin to tune in to our third eye. Now our third eye is in the center of our mind. So let's imagine now that our mind is completely empty, like a void in space. It's completely black, except right in the center there's a tiny spark of light. And that tiny spark of pure white light is like a star far away in the distance. And I want you now to imagine it expanding, getting bigger and brighter and bigger and brighter. Just like a shooting star coming through space towards you. Allow it to get so big and so bright now that it fills up the whole of the void. And it starts to expand into the body now. It starts to expand into the features of your face, into your hair, into your neck, down through your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your fingers, down through the chest and the back, the torso, into the abdomen, all the way down through the buttocks and the legs, all the way down through the feet and the toes. And it's expanding out now to fill up the whole of your aura, which is about an arm's length around you, so that your whole auric field is full of this pure white light now. Let's take a giant leap with this white light and let's take it to expand all the way around the entire planet. And imagine that we're holding the planet with white light surrounding it now, the same way as Father Sky surrounds the earth and protects her from the void of space and all her children. Let's fill up the field that surrounds the earth now with white light and love, raising the vibration of the whole planet now together, raising the consciousness of the earth together. Sending our love and our light to all the parts of the planet that need it most. Perhaps you want to send it to landscapes like the Amazon rainforests, which have been ravaged, or the parts of the world that have been overfarmed with monoculture, helping those ecosystems to be restored again. Perhaps you want to send it to places ravaged by war or poverty or famine. And let's remember all of the plants and the people and the animals that live on the earth and send them all our love and our light to raise them up, to help them get what they need. Sending them a prayer for their happiness, their freedom, and their health, and their healing. Seeing our white light radiating powerfully across the whole planet, as we are all channels for the light now. Now let's bring our energy back to being our auric field, which is that arm's length around us, that bubble of light around us, just being conscious again of just us in our bubble. Now let's bring it back to being our body, so now we're conscious of the skin and our body again. Now let's bring it back to just being that tiny spot of pure white light in the center of your mind again. Now, if you remember earlier, I asked you to think of a place in nature that you would like to go to. So think of that place now, and I want you to imagine that little speck of pure white light, like Tinkerbell the fairy, is leaving your body and it's flying up into the sky. Maybe it's leaving your room out through a window or a door, and as it leaves, it's scooped up by a golden mist. And this golden mist acts a little bit like a magic carpet. It helps to carry you with grace and ease through the atmosphere, across the landscapes, across the urban environments and the countryside, across the mountains and the valleys. Takes you across oceans and deserts until you reach the place that you chose to go to today. So see that place that you chose coming into view now, that place in nature, whether it's a garden or a forest or a mountain, wherever you're going. Seeing that place coming into view now. See yourself coming into land like an aeroplane descending, just bringing your feet down now to touch the earth. And the golden mist subsides and you start to feel more fully conscious in this space. And as you feel more fully conscious in this space, you look around for the way to go down into that lower realm landscape. So let's look for that way now. And on the count of 3, we're going to dive down. Maybe you're going to go down through a tunnel, an entrance in a cave, or maybe you're going to go down through a hole, through some roots in a tree or a doorway. Choose the way to go down now. Create it in your imagination if it's not already obvious to you. And let's go 1, 2, 3. Let's dive down into that lower realm now, going down and round and down and round. Imagine yourself going down through a tunnel, deeper and deeper and deeper. Going deeper and deeper and round and down and round and down. Soon we're going to come out into that lower world landscape, and let's just remember our intention. Our intention today is to meet with Mother Earth and Mother Cacao and Mama Bear in that lower world landscape. They'll be holding space for us as we go deep into the earth today. Feeling yourself coming into land again in that lower world landscape. Now, you may have come out into a cave. It may be dark. Remembering this is your imagination. Perhaps you want to light some candles. Perhaps you want to turn on a torch. I want you now to call for Mama Bear. And do that silently if you wish to. Or you can, of course, speak out loud if you're in your own private space. Calling for Mama Bear, calling for Mama Bear, calling for Mama Bear. And see who comes. As Mama Bear comes for you to greet you in this space, thank her or whoever comes for joining you in our ceremony today. And whenever we meet a power animal, it's a good idea to thank it for coming and to connect with it, to start to learn about the qualities that that animal has. How does it live its life? What does it do down here? Mama Bear is very good at living a solitary life. She can help us to face our loneliness. She can help us to retreat and be in the silence. She can help us to face our fears, to be brave, to be strong. She can also teach us about our own healing gifts and how to share our healing gifts with the world. You may have a specific intention today for Mama Bear that you want to work through. Maybe you want to ask for some healing, or maybe you want to stick with my intentional ceremony today, which was to ask Mama Bear what to let go of and what seeds to sow for the new year. How can we grow even stronger? How can we evolve into an even better, happier, more joyful version of ourselves? So I'm going to leave you now in your journey to explore the lower realms. If you lose focus, just bring it back to being in that landscape and calling for Mama Bear as your guide. focus on whoever you're with. If you've been calling and working with Mama Bear, then thank Mama Bear for everything they've given you today. Or anyone else that's come through for you. Thanking Mama Cacao. Thanking all the spirits of the lower realm. And Mama Earth, who's been holding space for us. And I'd like you to ask if you're with an animal spirit or a spirit guide, for them to guide you back to the entrance to the lower realms. And let's start walking back to that entrance now. In a moment, I'm going to start pulling you back through that tunnel, back to your body. So just enjoying the last few moments of this landscape. Coming back to the entrance of the lower world now. One last final hug with your power animals as now we begin to come home. Feeling yourself being lifted up, travelling back through that tunnel now, going up and round and up and round. Higher and higher, you can feel your consciousness shifting upwards as well and lifting back into the middle realm state of consciousness. Carrying with you the dreams, the memories, the reflections, and the healing that you may have received in that lower realm. Now we're going to pop out through the crust of the earth back into our place in nature. The golden mist comes, lifts you up, carries you back through the skies, across the landscapes, the rivers, the oceans, the mountains, the valleys, the countryside, and the urban environments. Back through space and time, all the way to where your body exists on the earth itself. And you see the place where your body is resting coming into view. And you come back to the room where your body is resting, flying back through a window or a door, and as you do so, the golden mist leaves you. As you come back through the window and the door, you re-enter your body through your crown chakra on the top of your head, and you start to become fully conscious back in your body again. And welcome home. And just spend the next few moments becoming fully conscious again in your body. Wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. You're waking up from that dream landscape now. Gathering with you all of the memories, all of the experiences that you've just had. If you wish to, you can journal, writing down anything in as much detail as possible for you to reflect on later. And now, while you're journaling, I'm going to close the directions so that we're ready to move on to our integration circle for those who are joining me as part of the live event. Okay, so let me take my rattle, and I'm going to release with my rattle the directions as we move around. So today, I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to go from within all the way back to the east in a backwards direction. So let's tune into the creation energy and we release ourselves. So we come back to being ourselves again. Thank you for the matrix that held us and the creation energy. Our ceremony is closed. Ho. And now we're releasing Grandmother Moon, Grandfather Sun, and the star nations and all of our cosmic relations. And we release them. Now we release Father Sky. Thank you for wrapping your loving arms of protection around us, Mother Earth and all her children. We thank you. And now we release Mother Earth and all our earth relations. We release the plant people, the stone people, the animals, the bacteria, the mushrooms and the viruses. And we thank you. And now we release the spirits of the north, our grandmothers, our grandfathers, and those yet to be born, and the spirit of wolf and the spirit of air. We release you. And then we move round to the spirits of the west, Mama Bear, and the earth energies. We release you. And then we move round to the south, and we release our dolphin friend. And we release the spirit of water and the warmth of the noonday sun. We release you. We thank you. And finally, we release our spirits of the east. We release our eagle friend and the spirit of fire. And we thank you. So now our circle is closed. And you are free to join me for our talking circle, our integration circle now. Or get in touch. Let me know how you've been getting on. Let me know how you experienced this journey, whether Mama Bear came through for you or another spirit. If Mama Bear came through, which type of bear? Was it a polar bear? Was it a black bear or a brown bear or a honey bear? There are many types of bear. So I'll be really interested to hear from you and to discover what you learned. Everything that you learn and you share with me teaches me so much. And your healing is my healing. So I'm so grateful for you joining me in Circle. Thank you. And I hope to see you in ceremony again soon.